A sustainable business is resource efficient, respects the environment, and is a good neighbor. That's Phil Harding. Hi, we are Rest Marketing. Our board includes Emma Mustin, Summer Taylor, Tanea Graham-Farrier, and myself, Ryan Rice. Today, me and my team will be providing you research evidence on how to make a company generate higher levels of productivity while maximizing sustainability. The basis that Rest Marketing will cover today includes primary research, secondary research, concepts, and prototypes. To start us off, primary research, we used 3 research methods: interviews, observations, and surveys. For interviews, each of us individually conducted interviews with experts in the field in which we were studying. For observations, while we were making those interviews, we observed the store or restaurant that we were at. And for surveys, we conducted a 10-question survey, distributed it via text message, GroupMe messages, and social media, and generated 44 responses. So on to the topics of research. Our first topic of research was eco-friendly storage. As stated by Andy Bull in an interview on February 28th, 2020, KTM Industries developed their own cornstarch. And with this cornstarch, they created green cell foam. Next is systems of waste reduction. As stated by Antonio Southern in an interview on March 7th, 2020, when food items are received, they are labeled with the received date, best if used by date, and expiration date. Next is organization and refrigeration systems, as stated by Joey Harmon in an interview on March 8th, 2020. Store food, the Chick-fil-A in Kernersville stores food separately, as in produce with produce and meat with meat. They also, on their shelves, store heavier foods on the bottom, lighter foods on top, and always store liquids on bottom in case of any spills. And finally, organization in a company. As stated by Tony Longo in our interview on February 28th, 2020, Tony explained that Sunoco uses an organization process called Sunoco Performance System, or SPS. And SPS has procedures such as cleaning machines regularly in order to find worn parts and replace them before the machine actually breaks down. And now Emma is going to talk about our secondary research methods.
For our secondary research, we gathered information from ProQuest, Science Direct, ABI Inform, and Academic Search Complete. We researched waste reduction and organization. For organization within a refrigerator, there needs to be a couple things. First off, there needs to be open air space to allow employees or volunteers to walk around freely. This also allows them to see their inventory clearly. There also needs to be 3 inches of space between each food item to ensure maximum coolness. According to Masson, Delors, and Romenthal in Science Direct in 2017, the FIFO method is best for organization. This is first in, first out, and it allows food to be rotated through properly. Organization within a company helps the company to achieve goals while also staying sustainable. It improves the rate of production, the revenue, and it improves the quality of life for the employees. According to Pope, Bromley, Lim, and Meyer in the Springer article in 2018, it also promotes a high level of responsibility in the employees. For systems of waste reduction, companies should use some system to handle and preserve food properly. As mentioned before, the FIFO method is best. It's used to rotate through the food to avoid spoilage, and it also decreases clutter. According to Beaverton on ProQuest in 2016, food banks and redistribution organizations account for 3% of the overall food waste, so they have a responsibility to handle food properly. Another method to reduce waste is to have an eco-friendly storage option. according to N.J. Reddy in the Springer article in 2017, thermoelectric refrigerators are most popular because they are low energy consuming and a low cost. They're great if money and power are big restraints. But a more eco-friendly option is a biodegradable polymer or a chitosan. They are derived from shrimp shells and other crustaceans. They can create applications for food technology that has a film-forming ability. It is also non-toxic and biocompatible for food. The current refrigerators can cause long-term effects on the planet, so a biodegradable polymer is the best option. Now Tanea is going to talk to us about the concepts of our innovation project.
Thanks, Emma. Now we'll dive into our concepts. The most feasible, viable, and desired concepts are installing green cell foam, storing perishable food in a specific and organized way, and utilizing vacuum-sealed bags to organize refrigerators and freezers. We first used Stormboard to brainstorm 110 ideas as a solution. We split our solutions into 3 sections: how to improve organization within the staff, how to improve organization within the refrigerators and freezers, and how to decrease food waste. We divided our ideas into sections to better analyze our thoughts and provide specific solutions. We assessed the ideas to see if they could answer specific questions that were aimed at solving Out of the Garden's problems and meeting their specific needs. We selected the top 10 ideas in each section by voting for them on Stormboard. We decided each level of concept based on how thoroughly the solution answered each question and how well it could potentially solve Out of the Garden's problems. Antonio Southern, Human Resource Manager at Target Northwest here in Greensboro, that I had the opportunity to interview with, felt that organization within the freezers and refrigerators has gave them the best results, so we kept that in mind when analyzing and assessing our concepts we created. Finally, we took our top 10 concepts and decided whether or not they were feasible, viable, and desirable concepts. We decided if these 3 characteristics applied to each concept by discussing it with one another and coming to a mutual agreement on whether or not each characteristic applied to each concept. The 3 concepts that we found to be feasible, viable, and desirable were, again, installing green cell foam, storing perishable food in an organized manner, and utilizing vacuum-sealed bags to organize refrigerators and freezers. We used these 3 concepts to create prototypes to give us a glimpse of what our possible solution would look like. Now, Summer will go into further details about our prototypes. Thank you.
After we brainstormed our concepts that were desired, feasible, and viable, we needed to create a prototype that resembled a realistic solution for Out of the Garden projects. Initially, we created prototypes based off the 3 most voted on. We noticed right away that the most creative and realistic is the GCF. The anticipated GCF, the use of the GCF, is to be lined in the existing refrigerator system Out of the Garden project has and increase the longevity of perishable items in the refrigerator. After multiple trial and error procedures and tips from our stakeholders, our team adjusted the first prototype of the GCF lining by not only aligning the GCF on the door, but completely covering the walls inside the fridge, as you can see here in the prototype. This causes the refrigerator to keep its contents cold. The second modification we made was using a thermoelectric refrigerator or warm adhesive. The heat sealed the GCF to the refrigerator surface. These modifications lead directly into our product that is presented to Out of the Garden projects. Our final recommendation to Out of the Garden project is to implement the lining of GCF in the refrigerator systems with a cost of $17,320. Since the GCF needs to be applied with heat, we will use a heated adhesive, usually provided by the construction company, to ensure the stability of the foam on the refrigerators, instead of purchasing new thermoelectric refrigerators. Our launch plan consists of 5 steps. 1. Picking the most qualified yet affordable specialist to install the green cell foam. 2. Negotiate a solid price as well as schedule the actual groundbreaking of the project. 3. Once the planning portion of the installation is complete, we will fundraise a portion or the full amount of the cost of installment. 4. After we raise the full amount or the portion, we will begin the installment, which will take about 2 to 4 weeks. 5, after the installation is complete, we will begin loading the refrigerators with perishables. The aforementioned solution launch solves the out of the garden project's problems. GCF is designed to keep perishable items last longer than the average styrofoam option. Its natural ingredients and chemicals serve as a spoilage catalyst destroyer, according to Newswire.com on the GCF World's Most Sustainable Packaging to Canada article. In addition to its main function, the material is completely eco-friendly. This distinctive feature alone could bring in investors of the green business sector as well as green thumb volunteers. People usually give back money and time to causes that are important to them. In close, the primary purpose of this report is to persuade Out of the Garden Project through our team's completed research, prototypes, and concepts to implement our recommendation in order to resolve their problems of premature spoilage, revenue, and volunteer motivation. And what is more beneficial in our community than an organization that provides families with free meals and uses environmentally safe options to do it? So it is at no harm to the community or environment at all. In fact, it does nothing but help the community and environment. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me at rstaylor@uncg.edu or call 704-277-5382. Thank you.